Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I want to reach out to all of you out there, see how all of you are doing. Oops. So anyway, I just got done making a video, and so this is my second video. So I'm going to it's about aliens and UFOs again. So that is what this is about. But before I start, if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. And if you want to find me, you can on YouTube at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman. So anyway, I just want to reach out to all of you, and don't mind me. I had to, as you see, the last video I had, my hair was down, and it was doing some funky stuff. I'm like, well, I got to put this up right now. So, and it's kind of warm in my apartment, so having my hair up is cooler for me anyway. So don't mind me if you notice that my hair is up right now. It just, I got naturally curly hair, so it just had a mind of its own. And so anyway, if, like I said, if you're new, welcome. And I just want to reach out to all of you and make sure you're able to get out in nature somewhere. And depending on your age, you do have to be careful of the weather and make sure you're not out in this too long, depending on, the temperature in your area. In my area today, it might have hit like about 95. I'm not quite sure, So I'm going to really just jump into this. You can like this video. You can give it a thumbs up. You could share it. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, you could leave a message down below. Don't forget the notification bell like I did, or almost was going to. Sorry, a little off. I kind of jumped in this a little too quick. So anyway, also, if you want to follow me, you can on Instagram at 1995 Starlight or on Facebook at Kathy with a K, Digman Starlight. So the last video I just got done making was about my first time, well, a couple times of having like dreams with aliens or UFOs, where to me, I definitely believe it was more than a dream, So, and there's there's no way I could prove that. There's other people out there that would be on my side, and other people would say, well, it was just a dream. Well, this dream just never seems to end, And I've had stuff besides the dream that has happened, and I can't prove any of it because I'm the only one, to experience it. And maybe you're out there and you've had experiences out there about UFOs or aliens, where if you told other people, they might, people thought with me that I got abducted, and that's exactly, but these were the good guys, these are the ones that I felt safe with. And so I believe if there's good guys, or, aliens or higher beings, like I was labeling them, and I believe that there is a dark side, like where there could be ones that are not so friendly, and that's why I kind of get upset with the way Hollywood always puts most of the time, like aliens are, like horrible and they're scary, and, they do all that for a reason. Believe me, all that's all set up, to scare you, because they do know really what's going on out there, and, they're probably setting you up so that you could try to kill them and harm them when, what if they are your friends? What if they're here to help you? So you don't want to just assume because you watch all the scary movies on, that's why I don't even watch, like if this is aliens, like on a movie, I don't watch those movies. I have, I haven't watched a movie like, and I don't even know how long. It probably has been more than a year right now that I have not watched one movie all this time. And not that I'm against watching movies. It's just at that time I wasn't watching the right stuff. And so anyway, I did tell you that I was going to more than likely be right back and continue about aliens and UFOs, and here I am. Because I did want to talk to you about the other kind of UFOs that I did see, and I had to go get my notebook because I didn't have that handy. Anyway, so I did tell you that I would be back, and So here I am. Besides the UFOs that I was telling you about before in the last video, is the yellow. Well, like they glowed green, you know, and they had like wheels on the top and the bottom that would point. I should have, you know, brought that picture out here with me to show you what those look like. Oh, you know what? Actually, I do have a different notebook. This is not my regular. I never finished this picture, so I'll just zoom through here really quick. I'm so sorry. Okay, here we go. So this was, if I can get it to, this was my first UFO, and you see the top and the bottom part of it. Those were green, and oh, whoops, all those round things are UFOs too, but that's exactly what they would look like if you're looking up, where, here we go again, is, so the one that's the full-size UFO, that would be if you're looking right at it, and the other ones, if you were looking, I didn't color this one though. So, so the tops and the bottom, the way I would, you know, like picture them moving would be that they would spin around like that to fly wherever they were going to go. So it made a lot of sense to me on how they flew around, is because those babies would spin around in circles the opposite, you know, direction. So this is how I've thought of this my whole life, about how they flew, and you know, that those were like wheels. And it's kind of funny because in Ezekiel it does explain about wheel inside of a wheel. You know, I don't know what they're describing in there, what Ezekiel was seeing, you know, but anyway, my other, I gotta look for it though. I got some other pictures in here. Here's my, I'll just show you really quick. Here's my, have you ever had one of these, like when you're ready to go in Dream World? Like a portal? It really sucks. You can't really see it very well because of the light. I'm trying to see, but yeah, my portal. I used to get those quite a bit, like right before I think I'm ready to knock out. I would just like see these rings and rings and rings, you know, like I'm just going through a portal. I even, you know, like when I do get a dream, I do like to write the, you know, the date out and the time. So this is kind of funny. I wrote down on here, yeah, the date, that there was a date on here. The date was backwards. It's a silver UFO with black symbols. Squares are buttons, so that's why I wrote these notes, because what I was doing is I did actually, I wanted to make this in a, you know, like something like an object, you know, like a foam ball. I have a foam ball in my room, and I never did this yet though, because I would have to use some kind of knife, or I do have the tools here, and I got lots of tools here, is I wanted to make a real ball, you know, just the way it looked. But this is what, if you could see it, but those are some of the symbols I remember. There was a head, and but this was all round, and like I tried to draw like buttons coming off, and the eye, and there was other all kinds of different symbols on that. But like I said, it was like silver spare, and black symbols on there. And this actually happened in 7/20, 2012. And when I woke up from this dream, it was 7:20 a.m. You know, so that happened a few years ago. On that was one dream that I had, and that was a very interesting dream. Is that I was in a house somewhere, and it's kind of funny because I seen like one of my UFOs that I had before. Sorry, I'm a little off balance here. Is that it was like a glowing UFO inside the house that I was in. I don't know whose house it was, if it was mine or not, but it was a dirt road that was outside the house, and I'm like I'm in the house and I'm seeing this glow in the dark UFO just floating in the living room space. And then something was funny happening. I wrote this dream down somewhere, that there was something weird going on with the TV, like a lot of static in this dream. And then I heard something outside of this house, wherever I was, and my son was with me, which I wasn't even aware of. So a lot of times if I get like weird things in my dreams, I'm always running around trying to get my camera. So that's exactly what I was doing, is I was trying to find my camera before I get outside, because I'm hearing weird noises outside and I couldn't figure out what the heck is out there, so I wanted to get my camera, to take a picture of it. And when I get out, before I get outside, I'm like, that's when I seen this thing, UFO, that was in the middle of this dirt, like gravel street or whatever, because it wasn't a driveway. And I couldn't believe it. Here I'm looking at it, ready to take pictures, and my son was out there. Like he was out there before I even got out there. He must have just like ran ahead of me somehow or another without me knowing. And so here he is right by the UFO, and I'm like, like I didn't know if that was a safe one or not, because it didn't look like the ones I had before. So I was like, what do I do? Because there he is right by it. And like I said, those things on the outside were like buttons, and he didn't know I was behind him, like I was a distance away, not quite close enough for him to know that I was there. But he decides that, whoop, he pushes the button, and a door comes out, just like like kind of weird. It just like opened right out and it came out, and I can't believe it. It was when it opened up, there was a seat. There was a seat that was right there. So my son automatically he gets inside this UFO, and I'm like, I don't know, like, and I'm looking at the symbols, seeing the Egyptian symbols, and I watch some stuff like Mummy. I love that kind of stuff, though. Anything with Egyptian, I love the treasure hunting and all this stuff. I'm really into the Egyptian stuff, or Egypt stuff. I've always been like that growing up. Even I was older in my teenage years and up through, the Mummy movie. So some of those movies really got me thinking after I would watch them. But here my son he sat right in there, and it was weird. I don't understand, is that when my son got in there, he changed and looked like my brother, my one full-blood brother. I'm like, that is so weird, like, and so I'm like, I really didn't know if he should have been in there or not. But anyway, I do remember it floating around a little bit. It didn't really go very far. And the same night, this is really strange, is I don't know what was going on with the UFO, but it was just hovering, like it didn't land. It just was kind of floating in the air on the gravel area. And then I'm hearing all this like scraping noise, a lot of scraping noise, because the whole street was all like gravel and rock and dirt and stuff like that. And I'm like hearing all this scrape, scrape, scrape noise, and I'm like, what the heck, and it's dark out. So Starlight's always curious, if there's something going on, I gotta go check it out. I'm a little investigator. So I started walking down the street. The weird thing is that our house was the only house that had the lights on, and everybody else down the street didn't have their lights on. But what was happening on this particular dream is that there was a weird object that was in their driveway, and it did this to every single driveway. It would go in and hit every single neighbor, because they all had dirt driveways, just like the way the street was. And the only way I could think of is, I don't know what one looks like, but it was like a farm equipment that kind of would make me think of something like a a crop circle machine or something. I don't know what a crop circle machine looks like, but that was, this is pretty much what I was thinking in my imagination when I seen it. You know, it was a circular kind of metal thing with a bunch of metal, you know, circular metal, and it had like, it's so hard to explain this stuff because I remember this stuff. I mean, like when you get dreams like this, you don't even really, I mean, like I wrote it down in one of my books somewhere. I don't know what book. I save all my dream books, at least most of them these days. Um, so yeah, it had like blades, and that is what the noise, you know, there's circular blades that were um, circling around in a certain kind of a weird kind of way. It had its own pattern, and it was actually marking up the driveway area right where, you know, like where they would park a car. But, you know, it was weird how this thing was going to every single house, and it would do this, and it actually formed a letter. It was weird. You know, and I don't know if I remember. There's two letters in my mind. I don't have my dream book. I don't even know where that dream book is. You know, it should be in this place here where I live. But it's either it was a K or an L. Those are the two letters that I'm thinking of right at the back. You know, like but it was really strange how nobody was waking up in their houses hearing that noise. You know, where that big old metal machine just came through and did the thing, and you know, it was just so weird how that all happened. You know, those are things that I've experienced for as far as dream goes. You know, the ball one, that, you know, the round one, the sphere there, that was really cool looking, and the, you know, the other symbols that were on there, I wish I could have remembered all of them. It's just things, you know, like I was so afraid that my son was in there, not knowing what was going to happen to him. And then there was a time, I wanted to kind of mention this story really quick. I was, I don't know what year, because I've been in and out of the hospitals a lot, from 2017 all the way to 2022. You know, this happened to me last year around my birthday in August. So yeah, I'm an August baby. My birthday is coming up, you know, so that's my favorite month. You know, so anyway, I was in the hospital, and I can't remember, I was in there for a long time, and I was so sad. And when I was in the hospital, like I said, is in the other video, is anytime, like if I'm going through some horrible time, like my aliens, they come and help Starlight out. They do. They're there with me. It is so weird. I feel very safe. I know nobody can harm Starlight because I am protected. You know, ever since I've had the dreams of my alien friends or the higher beings and stuff. So I definitely feel like I am protected by a force out here somehow, either the universe or, you know, I do pray for my archangels besides my higher being people here. I don't know who they are, what planet they came from. I try to look online to find out, you know, what alien race is this, you know, because mine doesn't describe any of the ones that I found online, but the closest that I could think of was the Pleiadians. So I've always, now I have, there's the Pleiadians, or trying to think if I can think of the other name. There's two different ones that I was thinking, one or the other, but mine, you know, like, we're different than anybody else's, you know, so I don't know where mine come from, you know, because they have the bluish skin color with, like the fish scale, you know, kind of glittery stuff all over their bodies, you know, and then their third eye, you know, was just a freaking, you know, like light shooting right out of that baby. You know, so so one time I was in the hospital. I can't remember what year and why I was in there that time, you know, but anyway, when I was in there, it might have been when I had my car accident. when I thought I was leaving my body. I thought that, I was finally getting saved and getting the heck out of this planet Earth. I thought finally, they're taking me home, wherever that is, because it's not here. So I was in the hospital and I was so freaking out of it because they always want to get you drugged up. They always want to force you to take medication even if you need it or not. And, I just was going through a spiritual awakening and I didn't know what was going on with me at the time. And so I was really homesick. All I wanted to do is get back home. And on the left of me, you can't see it, but it's all different now. My daughter knows what it looked like before. But since I rearranged everything and really lightened up my load in my apartment, got rid of a lot of stuff that I had to make more space for videos, so the space on the left of me is that was my majorly all these guys here was over there. So this was a special space over there, so a very special energy when you walk in that space. It's loaded with a lot of my artwork, and I have other mannequins. I haven't counted, I believe I have about 50 mannequin heads in my apartment. So that space was a lot of energy going on in that space. That's where it's kind of like their home, where I put all my artwork and all my friends there, so it means a lot to me in that space that, all the thoughts that I have in that space, and then anytime that anybody walks in that space, it's kind of weird. My daughter almost collapsed in that space before, out of the blue. We had no clue why, she I'm grateful that she didn't get hurt because I had a mirror there before I used it like a table, to put my artwork on, so she could have really gotten badly hurt if she fell. So it was really strange. But anyway, when I was in the hospital, all I could think about was to get back home, and I just wanted to be back with my alien guys in here, because this is where I felt safe, and I didn't trust the people in the hospital and what they were doing with people. And it is kind of weird because I was so homesick, and I just wanted to be back home and get back to work and get back on my feet, but they try to hold you in there a long time. Even longer than, some of the doctors are really ridiculous. They will try to, because they're making money from you, and that's what it is. The more they keep you in the hospital, they're getting money for keeping you in the hospital. Everybody's making money on you, so it is so strange. I went to sleep, and I think I might have had an outer body experience, really. I think I really left my body, and so I went to sleep that night, and I had a hard time sleeping because it's not my bed, it's not my bedroom or anything like that. So what happened is that I ended up in the middle of the night in the hospital because I was so sad, and I really didn't feel safe in the hospital. But it was a way that my higher beings were trying to help me out and being there for me. Is that I really believe I really literally made it in my apartment. I was visualizing what it looked like in my space, where they hang out they hang out there, they're hanging out in Starlight's apartment. Because I really just wanted to feel safe, and I didn't feel safe in the hospital. And I believe I really traveled, left my body and came to this space. And in the middle of the night when I was in the hospital, I was actually literally laying down on this carpet here in this room, and totally lifeless, totally drained because of the hospital and, not feeling safe in there. And I just laid there, and the weird thing that happened is that while I was laying there in that space there, is a couple of my higher beings. This is strange when I tell you this, but I'm not kidding when I tell you this story. It's tripping. I didn't have any energy to move. I'm laying on my carpet, laying on my belly, and they actually pulled me. I couldn't see them, but there was two of them. One was on the right-hand side and one was on the left-hand side, and they picked me up and they dragged me. They dragged me out of their space and dragged me to my bedroom space. That's what they did. They dragged me to my bedroom space. And I did. I felt each one of them pulling me across the carpet. I felt the carpet. I felt my skin, like being dragged across the carpet. I could feel the fabric of the carpet as they were carefully pulling me out of that space, that's their space, where I was able to make it into my, it is really interesting how these things can happen to you, and I definitely believe I left my body somehow or another, like I really wanted to be home and be safe. I didn't want to be in the hospital, so that's the only downfall about having a spiritual awakening if they do get you and they put you in the hospital. I do have another story. I got lots of different stories about spiritual awakenings, but that was one of my things that I dealt with on one of my spiritual awakenings, the thing that I've experienced of that my higher beings, these guys behind me, where they pulled me. I felt so safe though. I didn't have energy at all to move, and they knew it. So I am definitely a big believer in like higher beings. You know, people that are they're higher beings. Like they didn't look like aliens. They just had blue skin. It would have been no different than seeing other people have brown skin. It just was blue. Like just the way I did it on these mannequins. I don't think. Yeah, they are a very beautiful blue, and so. And anyway, that was one of my other stories that I had with UFOs and aliens. Something that I definitely experienced. You know, it was just. I was able, of course, I did get back out of the hospital. Sometimes it's very scary when they lock you up because the one time I was in the hospital is that the doctor just wanted my money from my insurance company, to try to keep me in there. And I actually had to, they cut me up to the whole, I think it's 15 days they can keep you in there by law. A doctor can say whatever to the judge. But after that 15 days, I believe that's the limit, is that when it comes up to that 15th day, even though you did the paperwork to say, hey, I need to get out of here, I need to get out, I need to get home. I was worried about my business going down the tubes. That's why my business did not do very good because I was in the hospital, in and out. I lost so many clients because I've been in the hospital. I lost so much money like you would not believe because I've been locked up in the hospital. And it's horrible when, like you are wondering, you don't want to get behind in all your bills and lose money. But I did. My business was not doing really good because I was in the hospital locked up in a lot, So the one time that my doctor did lock me up for the 15 full days that he could, or 14, and then the next day was the 15th day, where then you can actually go to court. And that doctor tried to make me look like a crazy person. And it was actually when I had a car accident. That's what it was. So I did tell him some crazy stuff. I did. I told him some crazy stuff, and he tried to make me look crazy in front of the judge. And, I told him I was a light worker, and, it's funny. It was really on. And so I had a lawyer, a female lawyer, and I said, hey, because the universe was helping me out with this information, like, the medication that he's given me, do I have to be in the hospital to take this medication or can I be home? And I had sexual harassment that really freaked me out. I did it. It caused me to have some kind of thing that happened to me because one of the guys in there that's supposed to have been watched 24/7, he trapped me into a closet in the hospital. And a year before that is I did get raped by somebody in their basement. And so when that guy triggered, he triggered something where I totally lost it in the hospital because he tried to lick me all over on my neck and stuff in a closet, and I was trapped just like the year before when I got raped. So it really triggered something, and I totally freaked right the blank out in the hospital. I couldn't stop crying, and they seen it in my records though when I signed into the place that they asked me if have I ever been raped, and I said yes. That was not my first time, but I did, and it was like a year before that. So they had that in the paperwork. So I told my lawyer that, hey, I need to get out of here. Sexual harassment happened in here as locked in here. I'm trapped in here. And, it was on the record. And it was kind of crazy because there was a lady that was running around trying to get attention and trying to get out. And she was always screaming about rape, and she might not have gotten raped. But here I didn't go run around and screaming about rape. And here I really seriously did get raped before. And so I told my lawyer, I said, hey, this is messed up that I'm in here, and with the sexual harassment, that I really need to get the heck out of here, because it's not psychologically good for me to be locked in here. My doctor knew what was happening. I had witnesses in the hospital that seen what happened to me, and I had a breathing problem. I couldn't control my breathing, so is that it is something how that doctor tried to make me look really bad, but the good news is when I went to court is the judge heard my story about the rape and about the sexual harassment, and about that I didn't need that medication in that hospital. I could take that medication at home. And at that time, before I went to court, I was having some horrible freaking side effects like you would not believe. And I actually told one of the staff before the court date, he said, you better not say anything, because if you say something about the side effects on that medication, you'll never get out of here. And I was like, oh, really? Okay. So I never did. I never complained about the side effects. So when I did get home, I barely, don't even ask me how the heck I even made it from day to day. I didn't go to work right away, put it that way. I was all messed up. So I ended up weaning myself off that medication because it was destroying me, and that's why when COVID came around, Starlight didn't. We were good. We don't want your injections, believe me. If you've had some really crazy ass, side effects from medications, you're one of those people like me that you're like, what's the side effects? I'm good. So anyway, those are my stories for like UFOs, and like I said with the the court thing is the judge, he has dealt with that doctor so many times of trying to trap people in there and just getting more money. I got free. I did. I got free. He tried to make me look like some crazy person. I said, I'm here to help the planet Earth. And, the judge is probably thinking, good, we need more people like Starlight around here. We could definitely use Starlight out here. She's all about God and about doing what God wants. We need people like this out here. I just had to be funny, but really, it is something that, that is my other couple of things that I could tell you about, but one of these times, I will tell you about the spiritual awakening. I'm trying to do them in order, and I know I haven't done one in a while. I did my first one. That was a long story, though. you know, but I do want to work my way up to what happened last year, you know, which you never know, because a lot of times what happens is when you have a spiritual awakening, it can happen again the next year or around that same time. I'm hoping, but you know, I'm not really thrilled about going in the hospital, so we're good. And, you know, like, so anyway, I do love you, and if you, sorry, I got hiccups, not hiccups, but like, some kind of reflex here, is, ooh, sorry, my whole schedule here is a little off. Anyway, I'm trying to go to bed early and wake up early, and it's just like backfiring here. So anyway, I hope you enjoy, and don't be afraid, you know, like if you got some crazy story, I would love to hear about your story. You know, you could do that on Instagram would be the best place, you know, or you can leave a short little comment, you know, down below this video or the other one. And you could give this video a thumbs up. You could share it. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Whoops. And so anyway, I do love all of you. And this is Starlight, Love and Light.